Hey everybody, Adam Culbertson here. When you finish this episode, or right now, add another Creative Typo Entertainment podcast into your feed. Here's a promo for one right now. Make sure you go and check it out.
After the mysterious death of his father, Vartan returns home to uncover the truth with the help of his newfound friends, Baya and Ovik. But his hometown of Eterno may have something even more sinister in store for them. Join us for their journey into the untold at etherealembracepodcast.com or anywhere you listen to podcasts by searching for Ethereal Embrace.
Steel your mind for eldritch horrors of the universe unknown. For what is to follow is a tale of intrigue, mystery, and madness. You're listening to Microphones and Monsters. Yeah, where we left off, Julian had just passed out from exhaustion while working on the mech. The mech did light up with the runes. He finally perfected it in that last, ditch effort before collapsing. And during this time that he's asleep, he did lock the office to where, Victor, if you had tried to come by, you've not been able to get in. Nobody's been able to get in the office or in the lab that he's in. And Julian, you wake up 2 days later on the floor.
For the record, Aleister totally could have gone in if he cared.
Yeah, if he cares. Yeah.
Noted.
How do you lock the door when the door was the elevator?
No, it's the door to my room.
It's not the lab in the DDA. It's in the ship.
Yeah.
Oh, got
that's
it.
right. We're in the ship. I forgot we were in the ship. Yeah, in the ship.
Got it. Okay, I was confused.
So
now Victor would have left Julian alone, but he certainly would be confused as to where he is. But at this point, Victor's a little nervous to go bother him until Julian walks out and is happy with his suit.
like you're doing that Star Shark bit where you're trying to hit the ringer and it gives you that, that nasty.
But yeah, you wake up, you got the suit there. The runes are glowing and just kind of not like a constant, just steady glow, but just like a wave throughout it. Is that what you were going for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is like pristine and perfectly symmetrical, like down to like as close as the detail that I could get.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the rune designs?
That and just that in the suit in itself, put together like perfect, like just like it was first created.
Okay. I was just thinking symmetrical because you've got the gun mounted on one side or the other.
Well, I mean,
unless you got a new gun.
That's something that can't be helped. But yeah.
Unless it goes
which
directly
that's
above
already
your head.
kind of like perfect.
Yeah.
In its own way.
And it's
straight up Yith tech.
Yeah, and it matches. It's all complete. It's just the complete sequence of the Yithian tech molding into the tech that I've adapted and created. Where it was kind of like just stuck onto the suit. Now it's like very flush and complete.
Yeah. So you see that, you see it glowing, like you have that reassurance that you nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
And those boots that you were going to make Victor are on one of the tables in there.
Okay.
Or the workbenches or whatever.
All right. I'll go ahead and
you are very hungry.
Okay.
But not for blood.
Not for blood. Which is an interesting. Interesting.
You do feel weak, but you are not exhausted anymore.
I guess to what I will do. Here's what I want to do. So I want to actually wear the boots and kind of like test them out and kind of fly through the ship, using the boots and make sure that they work the way I want them to.
Okay.
But I won't be wearing the I won't be wearing the suit, as a result of that. So what I'm actually going to do is, when I put the boots on and stuff like that, and then I leave my room, I'm actually going to cast arcane lock on the door.
Okay.
So the way this works is you touch the closed door, window, gate, chest, or other entryway. It becomes locked for the duration, which is until it's dispelled. You and creatures you designate when you cast the spell can open the object normally. You can also set a password that, when spoken within 5 feet of the object, suppresses the spell for 1 minute. Otherwise, it is impassable until it is broken or the spell is dispelled, suppressed. Casting knock on the object suppresses arcane lock for 10 minutes. While affected by the spell, the object is more difficult to break or to force open. The DC to break it or any locks increases to 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anyone in my room, and I don't want anyone touching my suit.
Okay.
To the point where I am taking overly necessary or not overly necessary, but over the top measures to make sure that's the case.
Yeah.
And I won't set a password for it. I'm only going to allow myself to be able to open that room.
Okay.
And then I will try the boots on, and then I will float my way over to the ship galley to get something to eat.
The boots are made for flying.
That's what they'll do.
One of these days, these boots are gonna fly right over you.
Boom, boom, boom.
All right. So yeah, you're able to get food, no problem. I'll say it's about a I guess day and night. It's not really a thing. But I'll say it's like a normal time that people eat. So there's a lot of people in there.
I will try to find the most
downtime,
the most normal looking food that is not like still wiggling or some displeasing color or thing like that.
I've pointed that out before, that there was that disgusting or like disturbing foods, but there's also normal foods as well. Yeah. Like you've been eating normal food there. Well, like what we would consider normal food.
Yeah. Terran-based food or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
What's the name of the universe? Dunzel Terra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food that you would normally have. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I'll do that.
All right. What's Victor and Aleister doing?
I mean, Victor is just sort of going about normal business. Like he's just spending his day, like maybe visiting this person or that person, cooking, himself some food. Like he'd probably do some cooking to sort of relax, especially since he's not seeing Julian around as much. He's worried about him. He would just be cooking sort of soothes him a little bit. So he'd do a little bit of cooking. He might make like some normal food for some random person and just stop by like with a casserole, like the overly excited neighbor.
Yeah.
I made too much.
Like I said, he's not seeking Julian out. He's letting Julian alone because he's worried about him, and I guess he figures the sooner Julian finishes the suit, the sooner he'll be back to normal. Everything will be fine. He's just concerned. That's all. So
Aleister's just Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying nothing significant. I mean, we already had some downtime. He got a lot of the stuff he was wanting to get done. So
done.
Aleister, basically same thing you'd already been doing.
Yeah, pretty much, except maybe just noting that as he starts getting through the material that he can find concerning Tulsha and time manipulation, that he'll actually start branching out into other things that maybe not as closely related, just trying to find any little tidbit that he can that might be relevant.
Okay. That'll be good for like maybe a check later that you could have learned during that time.
like reading up about the housing crisis in the Dreamlands currently.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you never know when there might be some kind of passing mention of Tulsa.
Well, they did just kind of solve like a housing crisis. They created a whole
I mean, that is
with
that is
the
true.
whole world now.
Yeah.
They like used magic technology to make apartment buildings spring up out of nowhere.
Reading maybe a few older copies of the Meow Yorker.
You actually find an article from like years ago that talks about how Tulsa predicted the housing crisis.
and the a currency called cat coin never really took off and has made a resurgence recently, confounding investors.
All right. So all of you would have your Vox box on you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Victor's got his
All right.
Well,
earpiece.
on in.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of us
so
sort of
yeah,
have it
all of you
integrated
get
now.
yeah. You actually all of you you hear Sarah's voice come over the Vox box. Y'all are in different locations. Victor, Julian, and Aleister, please meet in the commander's meeting room.
Victor, Julian, and Aleister, could you please come to the principal's office?
Yeah.
Principal's office.
Report to
Julian.
the principal's office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah, I'll be right there.
Is this something urgent? I'm kind of in the middle of eating.
Oh, you could bring your food.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. Can I get this to go, please?
Right away.
There you go. That works.
I got to be an
Aleister
NPC.
will just not reply and just
Head
meander
there.
his way there.
Yeah, and it was on the floor that in the room that y'all had met with all the officers to begin with.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. I will probably have stopped flying at this point. I'll just be walking
Okay.
with the boots on.
Oh,
Just
how'd you make the
Supermaning down
boots
the halls.
look again? I know you didn't do wings.
Yeah, so I didn't do the wings. I did basically
They're like Air Jordans, except Air Julians.
Reebok pumps.
Yeah.
I really just wanted pumps with the little button where you pump up.
So I made the pumps and basically when you pump the boot, it activates the item, and the item will actually basically think of like an anti-gravity field. It will basically the more you pump it, the more you would fly up, or if you would kind of like press and hold it for a second, it would release and kind of descend as you wanted to adjust your altitude.
Just be careful with your pumped up kicks. I mean,
Yes.
you better run.
Yeah.
They will never be faster than my bullet.
All right.
I'm
yeah,
just going to
it's
treat it
essentially
like they fly normally, though.
Fly casual. Yeah. So, I as soon as I would, I'd come to the deck and kind of greet everyone, I would kind of like just kind of take off the boots or whatever and just hand them to Victor and be like, "Here, I tested them. They work now."
Thank you so much, Julian. I really appreciate these.
Yeah. Don't mention it.
I just got to find somewhere to write them down on my sheet.
I mean, do you like inventory everything you have?
Don't you?
Oh, I probably should now that you mention it.
I'm not going to write down the details. I can't remember them. I'm not going to fly for more than 4 hours straight.
I'll message it over to you.
Well, if you do fly for more than 4 hours straight, please see a doctor.
So all the officers are in there that was in there before Commander Strawdack. You got
Yelky.
Yeah, you got Yelky, you got Krazel, Quarles, his hologram is in the middle of the table. Yamnul, of course, is there. And Sarah's there. But Sarah has taken up the head of the table where Commander Strawdack was before, and he's opposite end of the table.
He's Lieutenant Commander Strawdack now.
Yes, please. Take a seat. Looks like Krazel was eating too. Like he was eating when called as well, but he's eating like some bugs, like these alien looking bugs. So you're not alone, Julian, on eating.
I thought he was part bug or something.
Didn't like cannibalism to them? Yeah, that looked like it was really popular in the mess hall. A lot of people were eating those.
He just looks up at you and just keeps chewing.
Is it like is it like really gross where like you like hear it and like you hear like a pop and a squelch?
Yeah. With the chewing, yeah.
That's
all right.
Disgusting.
And so it's brought to my attention that they were using you to try and retrieve the tablet of relay. Strawdeck's like, well, we weren't using them. They were helping us, and we were trying to help Julian over here overcome his star vampirism. Again, they were using you to retrieve the tablet of relay. Now, it is brought to my attention that that tablet was very important for ending a war that's been going on across the Dreamlands for a long time, and now that is out of all of our reach. I don't know if we could have handled that situation any better than it happened, but we believe there's another way to get information for giving us an upper hand.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. What is it? And are you going to be upfront with it this time and not kind of, talk around what you actually want?
I've been truthful with you since the beginning. You ask me a question, I answer it. All right. So we are searching for the Tablet of the Gods. It is believed that it is in a certain location, but
it will take half a season to find it.
The problem...
Sorry.
You will need to find the 9 navigation points in order to know the precise location of the tablet.
This is the mini-boss that you will encounter.
The issue that we would have right now is that in our current state of time, the Tome Keeper is far too powerful. I don't think any of us... Yes, time.
That thing that progresses.
Well, I mean, I suppose that's one way of trying to understand it.
Pointing at the words that you think have like dramatic meaning, you just say
time.
What do you mean the
Bart, the
Bart, the.
We believe if we make any kind of attempt to retrieve the tablets, either they will be broken, or, which we cannot have, or you will not be able to reach them. None of us would be able to reach them. So we believe we can go back and retrieve them as the Tome Keeper is summoned.
What exactly is the Tome Keeper? Like, is it a being? Is it multiple beings? Have we encountered the Tome Keeper before?
Is it like a trapper keeper?
Is it just like a shelf?
A trapper keeper. Oh, man.
Trapper keeper.
So
it's currently a White Dwarf chapter of the Space Marines right now that I'm not making up.
The Tome Keeper is Ubo Sathla.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
Written down.
Well, the being is a old one of ancient secrets. It protects knowledge at all cost. It views everything as a threat, as an enemy of taking the knowledge away. It will even go as far to destroy the knowledge to keep it out of other people's hands.
Like a trapper keeper.
Well, that just sounds like sour grapes.
Okay, and do you plan on using this tablet in the same way you're trying to use the Relayan tablet as a weapon?
In a way. Maybe we believe that there is it would have knowledge of the old ones, maybe weaknesses, maybe ways that we can get around, or ways to avoid them altogether, or trap them. Something. We don't know what's going to be on the tablets. None of us have ever read it.
Now, kind of going back to something you said earlier, you were suggesting that we go back in time. So I'm supposing that this is more of a multiversal thing and not just like going to another universe that maybe is not as quick as ours and therefore sort of back in time. Like you're talking about actual, real travel back in time, correct?
Yes, we will need to go back. The Tome Keeper is timeless. Those hounds that you had encountered with Ithaquah?
Yes, the blue gooey ones.
It exists alongside those, in all parts of time at the same time.
I mean, if it is timeless, then we still wouldn't be able to really fight it. You're just suggesting that we get to it before it is there, although you also sort of suggested that it would be there as well.
Yes, it would be summoned.
Where is it now?
Yeah, she waves to Querls, and Querls pops up a hologram of the planet, and you see this giant fungus-like organism that's just like...
Is Quirrell's like Miss Minutes?
I don't know what that is.
It's from Loki.
Loki.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched it yet.
It's good. Just watch it.
I thought I was looking up something.
You were looking up the name of a place where it was.
Yes. It's in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. But if you get to Hyrule, you've gone too far.
It is called Toad.
Hi, I'm Toad.
He has amassed great treasure.
In Querl's database, the planet is designated as Broria RZ23.
You know, I don't think that really helps us.
No, it doesn't.
But in fear of the Tome Keeper lashing out at this ship, we will have to get somewhat close, but not too close. And we will have to use the Silver Key to create a gate to send you to the planet in the past. We will also have to go into the waking world.
I mean, are you certain?
I'm fine with that.
How do we get back once we finish what we're doing? Do we just wait?
You just wait for time to catch up.
Hypothetically speaking, since we would be going back in time, and this is some sort of a multiversal thing, does it stand to reason that we'd be going back in time within the multiverse as a whole? Like, just, throwing something out there. Hypothetically speaking, our original world would still exist, would it not?
That is a possibility. It depends on what Haster has done to your old world.
He can ruin it backwards?
I hope not.
In theory, yes, but we have not tried to go there to find out. The risk is far too heavy.
The risk of
going back there to see,
what happened. Okay.
I will also... Time travel is not something we like to do. It is seemingly an easy way to fix things, but it draws the attentions of beings like the Hounds of Tindalos, Tulsha, Dimension Shamblers, and the Yith. We would prefer not to draw the attention of the Yith, so we have to use it sparingly. But doesn't mean that your trip will be safe. Like I said, you will be drawing the attention of some creatures that would view you as interfering.
Well, we have a habit of generally interfering with anything that we show up to. It's kind of our MO.
Turning them into axolotls.
Yeah.
From our perspective, they would be interfering.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying that we have every right to be upset about them being upset about us.
And Aleister, your friend that you met?
Yes.
We believe that one of the items that he has gives him the same capability of sending y'all back in time. So you may gain his attention as well.
Oh, well, that is probably for the best. I mean, after all, he has something of mine.
Yes, I thought I might warn you about that, though.
Well, thank you for the heads up.
Anything else we need to be aware of?
Any questions, any preparations? We do believe that the time that you're going back to is similar to the one that you lived your entire lives in.
Like Darkwell?
Yes, but the location is not like Darkwell was. It's a swamp town, or was a swamp town.
You mean it's no longer a town, or is there no longer a swamp?
There really is only
an ogre there
Ubal
now.
Sathla. on that planet now.
So it's neither a town nor a swamp now?
No.
So that's the only thing that's there now? Nothing else?
Is that the Tome Keeper?
Yeah, the Tome Keeper is there, yeah.
Okay. I can barely read what I tried to spell out.
The Tome Keeper basically took over the entire planet. Like, just amassed its knowledge, pulled in knowledge from other places, maybe knowledge deposited there. But overall, to guard the knowledge that it had to get stronger, it had to get bigger, and it basically became the planet.
Okay, so we're going back to when there was a swamp town.
When there was, like, people and everything, like,
Got it.
before it was summoned.
A whole new world.
Yeah.
The whole old world.
More appropriate. It's a new old world.
We believe that you three are definitely the most qualified to handle this mission, seeing as you know you'll be able to, I almost said accustomate. I don't think that's a word.
Acclimate.
Acclimate.
You'll be easier to acclimate to local traditions or what's not traditions.
Customs.
Customs, yeah.
Yeah.
Local customs of the time.
So you're saying they slept a lot? Because I could really get behind that.
She just ignores you.
It's like no one replies to that comment at all. And just keep going.
They don't sleep at all there, actually. It's impossible to sleep. There is a energy field that prevents it.
Everybody is rested all the time for no reason. But yeah. So now's like we could just skip like Julian. You rested up. Like you're good to go. Like you got your mech suit. These guys see the mech suit for the first time with the runes and like the changes.
Wow. You did a really good job on the mech suit, Julian. I'm glad you got it done.
Yes, I see that you did get it back together. Congratulations.
Yes, it took a long amount of time and various other distractions.
It's covered in pretty symbols now.
Yes, those are integral into how the suit works now. It took me a very long time to understand the sequencing and the meaning behind them and how they work in harmony with the way the technology of the suit is laid out.
The real question, though, is do you have enough flair?
I can acquire
He's
more
only
flair.
got 13 pieces.
Yeah.
And that's the minimum.
I have not tested it yet, but I do believe that functionally it'll be the same as it was before. Maybe even better. I don't know yet.
It looks better to me. You're really smart.
I don't know about all that, to be perfectly honest. The process of putting this all together was incredibly frustrating and taxing. I don't want something like this to ever happen again. I would ask all of you to refrain from interacting with the suit or touching the suit or anything without explicit permission from myself. Not even if, I'll leave it at that. I don't particularly want to go through that experience again. It was a trial, if I was to put a word on it. But anyway, anything interesting happening on the ship other than the new orders? The new expedition we're about to take.
No,
Not
really. Huh?
Yeah, Sarah shows up.
Oh.
So
Go ahead, Miss White.
a little bit of information. I was looking into the history of Broria RZ-23, and the town that you'll be in is called Green Pool.
Green Pool?
Yes.
That's the
And we don't
easiest
know
name
the
to
exa-
remember so far.
Yes, I believe. Yes, it is. But it is not recorded what actually happened there. We just have a roundabout idea of the time when the summoning happened. So we don't know who summoned, what summoned, or perhaps it was a group of cultists. That seems to be a a pretty common thing. So I am sorry to leave you in the dark on what you're looking for. Perhaps people that are obsessed with knowledge may be your best place to start.
Okay. That's definitely something that we can look into. Do we know? Is this? I'm assuming that this particular location is maybe not as technologically advanced as others we have encountered.
My understanding is perhaps most of the people aren't very smart. It might be a little bit behind on technology from what you're used to, but they do have magic, so they at least have that going for them.
Which is nice.
Magic can be really helpful sometimes.
I would almost say that it's paramount. All right, so we'll enter the area, look for any kind of repository of information they have there, and proceed. Is there someone we're going to be able to be in communication with while we're down there, or there in general?
Sadly, no. You will be able to return through the gate that Manrose will create, but you will only have one time you can come back.
What do you mean?
So the gate will be open until you return.
And then it can't be opened back ever again?
Correct.
No pressure.
For fear of drawing too much unwanted attention. So it's kind of, you have one chance.
Well, will we be the only ones able to see the gate?
You will know the location of it. It will be in a discreet place in the swamp.
Okay.
I would say the town is not as large as Darkwell, but it is a nice-sized town. No tall buildings, though. Very, very quaint.
Is the swamp area really wet? Victor just sort of look over at Aleister.
Well, I imagine all swamps are known for their wetness.
You're not really making this sound enticing.
Which part? The part we're about to fight against an ancient old one, or the part in that it's a swampy town?
Yeah, he'll get his
I
feetsies
mean, really,
wet.
the latter is the more concerning.
Well, the knowledge that we can attain, if you can retrieve any of the tablets of the gods, it would be a game changer.
And is it, there's just one there?
No, the Tome Keeper would have surrounded himself with the tablets. So there are definitely multiple tablets. There are many old ones.
Would you say it would be a hashtag game changer?
Hashtag game changer. I've actually become very...
I've joined this thing called Twitter.
Well, there is this thing called Instablam back where y'all went to.
Do not create justification for Cthulhu Mythos social media.
Pickpock.
Would it hurt you if I said too late?
One of Nitz's new friends has been very has been teaching me some things.
Tell Nitz I says hi. I said.
He says hi.
He says, I says it.
All right. So are y'all ready to go?
I can't think of anything else that I would need to do.
I suppose there's no time like the past.
We really got to work on this joke thing.
Sarah laughs.
Sarah laughed.
Of course. It's a cat thing then. Okay. All right. It's a cat thing. All right. We got that.
But we'll be able to get back to the future, right?
Oh,
As I said, you will have one way back. You will be able to get back.
Exactly. We have to hit 88 miles an hour. Like at exactly the time that the lightning strikes the
I
town.
can only go 60 feet, a turn.
we got to
Maybe
get
if
you
I
to go
sprint.
faster.
I wonder how fast in miles per hour 200 feet per 6 seconds is. I can sprint that fast.
I know you can find out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we can.
Question is, will we? Find out next time.
Find out next week. Same cat time, same cat
play.
channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, Aleister here.
So it seems that we are planning some sort of a time heist of sorts, where we need to get something, but it would be far too difficult to get right now, so we go into the past and obtain it when it was a little more available, as it were. I must say, I'm kind of surprised that they would think of a plan something like this. I mean, it's not too unusual for one such as myself. I mean, you know, with the whole time manipulation and all. But it does seem a little odd coming from someone else, like Sarah. And even still, it kind of insinuates some sort of misunderstanding of the way that time works. I have definitely come to understand that there are certain unalienable rules to this time travel thing, and for all the warnings of us not to mess anything up or change history or change the timeline, I think that may be a bit inaccurate. See, in my experience, there is nothing that we are really able to do that we did not already do. So, it stands to reason that within the time stream itself, we already did go to the past, and we already did whatever it is that we do there, and I suppose if it were true that we were to die there, then we would have already died there as well. I know time can be a little confusing, but try to keep up. But in any case, all music was written and produced by Marco Mazzei of Fallen Highway Studios. You can find us at our website, creativetypo.com, or our show's specific site, microphonesandmonsters.com. There are all kinds of things to discover, including other shows made by some very interesting people, and links to find us on social media, find our Discord, maybe even buy some merch. So you should go check that out. But thank you for listening in, and I hope you'll join us next time on Microphones and Monsters.